How's it going, guys? Nick Ross here. Today I'm going to be going through 3 different squat variations that are guaranteed to improve your vertical. So hopefully these illustrations will give you a better visual of the different angles I like to work when squatting and why they're beneficial to vertical jumping. The first stance we're going to do is the neutral stance, which is about shoulder width apart. This is especially important. A lot of people get into a squat without having their feet in a set and comfortable position. So get your feet into a set and comfortable position. Butt shoots back, chest stays up. Knees don't shoot in front. And back up. Chest stays up, butt's out. And back up. Good. Now we're going to move to our narrow stance. The importance of our narrow stance, we're going to squeeze our inner thigh together. So we're going to keep that engaged the entire time. Down, low, 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 and up. Boom. Good. Keep those inner thighs engaged. So we'll do one more. Squat, 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 squat. Boom. Good. Now our last stance is going to be our wide stance. So on the wide stance, you want to have a little bit of an angle of your toes pointing out, right? So if this is straightforward and neutral, this is straightforward in the middle, on out, we want to go 50, 45 degrees-ish. So we're going to feel inside, outside, and glutes on this wide stance here. We're going to go down, slow, good, feel those glutes engage, and back up. Good. Let's see that one more time. Squat down, chest stays up, even more so than the other lifts. And up. Boom. Good. So now that we visually went through a couple of different squat variations and stances, whichever you want to call them, now we're going to go on to why they're beneficial and the muscle groups that they work. We'll start with the most basic and a neutral stance. So neutral stance is beneficial because that's your everyday stance. That's the stance you're probably going to be most powerful in. So why not work a stance that you're going to be in, more often than not? Now your narrow stance, where the heels and the inner thighs are sandwiched together throughout the entire squat, that's going to focus more on your quads and a little bit on your inner thighs. So you're going to feel a nice pump in your quads. That vastus is going to get working. We're going to get those inner thighs, and you're going to get a really nice pump in those legs. And lastly, our wide stance, or some like to call a sumo squat, what have you, obviously works the hamstrings, the glutes, and a little bit of the outer quads. So that's a very, very good squat for power. So when you go through the 3 different variations through a set and you mix it up and you kind of trick the muscles, it forces your muscles to grow and adjust and adapt, and it keeps them constantly in shock. Often we do the same kind of repetitions, neutral stance, neutral stance, neutral stance, neutral stance, and then our bodies are just like, yeah, I know what that feels like, and we don't grow, we don't get stronger. So I like to mix it up. I like to trick the body into thinking that, it's undergoing something that it's not used to by switching up the variations. So one thing I do like to incorporate into my squatting is an elevated heel. Now I accomplish that using this TheraBand. You can use a towel, you can use weights, it doesn't matter. Most of us in our squat, we suffer from a range of motion, which obviously impales our ability to lift a heavy amount of weight. I like to use the TheraBand not because I suffer from a range of motion. I actually have pretty good range of motion in my ankles, but I like to feel that squat and that heavy weight in the area that I might not be able to feel it normally. So I'm trying to overextend my range of motion by elevating my heel and feeling heavier weight in those areas, if that makes sense. So this angle should allow you to see the demonstration of the angles that I'll be penetrating using the heel lift. So I'm going to start conventional with my heels on the ground. All right, that's about as far as I can get before I start to break form, break my chest forward, let my knees drop, and back up. So maintaining good form, maintaining good form. Now back up. Now we're going to use the heel lift. Another alternative to a heel lift is weightlifting shoes. Now they have a small lift, but I like to go for an exaggerated lift. All right, and you can already see that my calves are engaged in a different level already. So we go into the squat. And now I'm able to get my butt even lower, and my knees are still in a good position, not too far forward in front of my toes. And let's see that one more time. And back up. Thank you guys for tuning in to my first episode of Flight School. See you guys next time. Let's get it jumping. Hey!